Hello, students. This is your favorite professor, Professor Lorenzo, and this tutorial is about basic punctuation and also, of course, punctuation rules. Now, there's all types of punctuation in the English language, but we're going to deal with just the ones that are used the majority of the time. Punctuation marks are symbols which organize the structure of written language and indicate intonation and pauses to be observed when reading aloud. Punctuation marks are also used to avoid confusion. For example, let's take a look at this first sentence. This is a complete sentence with just a couple of pauses, and it's woman without her man is nothing. It has a different meaning from this sentence, woman, which is an independent clause, without her, comma, man is nothing. The first one is saying that woman is nothing without a man, and the second one is saying that man is nothing without a woman. And the meaning is all changed based upon how you use punctuation. And as you can see, using the proper punctuation might give you a message that won't get you in trouble later on. Punctuation marks, some of the punctuation marks in the English language are the comma, the colon, the semicolon, the full stop, also known as the period, but they call it a full stop in European languages. Rather in Europe. And you have your dash, your parentheses, your question mark, your exclamation mark point, your quotation marks, and ellipsis, brackets, underscore, understrike, the at symbol, which we all use quite a bit right now, the ampersand, and the number sign, the asterisk, the slash, and the apostrophe. However, what we're going to work with is the comma, the semicolon, the full stop or period, parentheses, question mark, exclamation mark, quotation marks, and apostrophe. We won't do them all in this particular tutorial, but we will do at least the major ones, okay? So first of all, let's talk about the 3 ways to end a sentence. And as usual, a good person to learn from is Dave at Khan Academy.
Hello, grammarians, and hello, Paige.
Hi, David.
So today we're going to talk about the 3 different ways to end a sentence. This is what we call a terminal punctuation of English. Paige, what are those 3 ways?
So the first is a period.
Okay.
And then exclamation point. And a question mark. A period is just sort of the standard ending to a sentence.
Sure.
Right? It goes at the end of, I think, most sentences. I would say that all of the sentences that we have spoken so far would probably end in periods.
So what's a good example sentence that we could use a period at the end of?
My mom ate a cookie.
So that's just sort of a straight up regular old sentence.
Yeah.
Just a standard declaration of a fact.
Exactly.
This is a thing that is true. My mom ate a cookie.
Yes.
Cool. And then we just put this period there to say that's the end of the thought, end of line. So then what is an exclamation point for? Like, what would we use that for?
Yeah, so an exclamation point is pretty much if someone is excited about what they're saying.
Okay.
I think. So if I were to say, I'm going to eat so much candy when I get home, I think that was probably an exclamation.
Sure.
And ends in an exclamation point.
But it's not just like good excitement either.
Right.
It's not just like, woo, this is awesome.
Totally. There can be, anger, like, go to your room.
Right.
Or like fear. If you said,
ah!
Yes, exactly.
We have the period, which is kind of this all-purpose terminal punctuation. You can just say a regular declarative sentence, here is a fact, my mom ate a cookie. Or you can use exclamation points to demonstrate excitement or strong emotion, whether good or bad. So like an interjection like, ah, or a command like, go to your room, or if you're super excited, I'm going to eat so much candy. What is this thing used for?
Well, I think that was a perfect example of what that thing is used for. That is a question mark, which goes at the end of a question. So it basically just signifies, I don't know the answer to this thing, and I would like an answer to it, please.
So, okay, so Paige, what's an example question that we could throw out using a question mark?
How about, is this edible?
That's the eternal question.
I ask myself that every day.
Okay, so we have periods, just statement of facts, exclamations, expressions of strong emotion, or question marks, which ask a question, I guess?
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Paige.
Thank you for having me.
You can learn anything. David out.
Page out.
All right, so full stop, again, was the period that ends a sentence. I'm not going to school, period. For abbreviation, if the last letter of the word is not used. So if we're just going to do abbreviate Monday, then we'll use a full stop, again, a period, or continue. In an email and internet address, we'll also use the period to separate. So we got to sleep at lunchtime.com.au. AU means Australia, which should give you an indication why they keep saying full stop instead of period. Full stop, as I said, is used in Europe. It's also used in Australia, but we call a full stop a period. So a question mark, as David said, the question mark, the main use of the question mark is to ask a question. Are you playing cricket? What time is it? An exclamation mark is a punctuation used to denote shock, surprise, anger, and similar emotions. Alas, we lost the match. Hooray, we got it. Oh my God. Now, in our essay writing, the one thing we do not do is we do not use multiple exclamation points. All we need is one when we're writing. So you don't do this many to get your point across. You can do that on text. You can do that in email if you want to. You can do it on Facebook. You could do it on Instagram, but you do not do it in your essay writing. We only use one exclamation part. That's it. Your point's made. Okay? Again, 3 ways to end sentences in English: period, question mark, exclamation point, sorry. So now let's talk about the apostrophe, okay?
Hello, grammarians. Hello, Paige.
Hi, David.
Hello, apostrophe. Today we're going to start talking about a different piece of punctuation. And that piece of punctuation is the apostrophe. Kind of looks like a comma, but it's one that floats in the air. Here's the ground. Here's the word ground. And if we say, I don't know, Paige's dog, Addie, we're using the apostrophe, not shown to scale, obviously, in one of its 3 different applications. So the apostrophe can do 3 things. Thing number 1, it can stand in for missing letters.
So when an apostrophe stands in for missing letters, that's called a contraction.
So what does that look like? What does a contraction look like in context?
So another way to say something like, I did not eat the cookie, is to say, I didn't eat the cookie.
So that apostrophe there represents the O being taken out and kind of everything being squished together into this new word, didn't. So did not gets together, and then we attach this apostrophe to show that we've contracted or shortened or shrunk these 2 words.
Right.
Paige, join me on screen number 2, and let's talk about thing number 2.
Let's go.
So the second thing that an apostrophe can do is show that something belongs to someone. This is what we call possession.
So you can use an apostrophe to say something like, that's David's cursed skull.
Okay. It's true, it's been in my family for generations. But what's going on here? What is this doing the same work as?
So the sentence basically means that cursed skull belongs to David. This first sentence, that's David's cursed skull, is kind of just an easier way to say that.
So apostrophes can show contraction, much like we're also doing in this part of the sentence as well with that's, because this is a shorter version of that is David's cursed skull. But we're condensing that or contracting that into that's. But it's also being used for its second purpose here, which is David's, and this is what we call the possessive or the genitive case, saying that this cursed skull belongs to me. Paige, what's the third use of apostrophes? It's pretty rare.
The third use does not happen very often.
And for that reason, we're not going to get into that third use. So an apostrophe is used to show possession and to replace missing letters and contractions. Molly's, notice the apostrophe here. Cat doesn't Doesn't is really does not. So you're contracting the two words does not and the doesn't. Molly's possession. She possesses the cat. Molly's cat doesn't like eating fish. All right. We can also do contractions this way. So it is, we need an apostrophe there. There, they are, whose, who is, we're, we are, and your, you are. So we're not going to get into commas right now. We're going to do commas in a separate video because commas have so much information about them. They're one of the most complicated pieces of punctuation in the English language. But you'll see that one, commas, in the next video. So hopefully this one has helped you. Again, if you got any questions, you can come see me. And as always, have a great day, students, and keep learning.